Hello everyone, and welcome to this video in which I explain why I chose my major and how I think you should choose your major for college, And so if you don't already know, which you probably don't know if you don't know me, but I am studying computer science and business honors, and in this video I want to talk about why I chose computer science and business honors, which really I should say business and computer honors. Business and computer honors. Business and computer science, because I am more of a business-focused person, and if I had to choose between one of them, to be honest, I would choose business. So let's just get straight into it. So as an Asian, I imagined that I would be some kind of engineer, like a mechanical engineer. And to be honest, when I was in middle school, I thought I wanted to be computer science. I wanted to do computer science because that's so cool. And then, I went on to Code Academy and I tried something. I was like, this is not for me. And then I never did it again. I never coded again. And I was like, yeah, maybe computer science is not for me. But when I was a young child, I loved Shark Tank, which is so classic for a business person to say, but I really did. I loved Shark Tank from the very first season, and then I would go out and sell things. I tried to sell cookies, I tried to sell soap that we made, which probably wasn't very hygienic, but we did actually have a person interested. That's a story for another day. The point is, I always loved business things, making money, profit, and all of that. And a funny story here, when I was a child, in Chinese culture, they do something where when you're a baby, they'll put items in front of you, various items, and see what you grab first to, I guess, see what you're into. And apparently it was either money or wallet. So I grabbed that first, and then I think I grabbed food next, or a drink, and then a toy. So basically, I like making money, and I like enjoying life by eating and having fun. So that's me. Anyway, my point is to give you a background, but still as an Asian, I was like, I want to have a stable career. I'm good at math and science. I was in a science and engineering club in high school, and I was like, that's probably what I'm going to do. I'm good at all these STEM subjects. Engineering is such a stable career, if I studied business, at that point I didn't even know what I would do if I were in business. I was like, that's just a whole unknown thing. And then computer science, I was like, I'd never coded. I took computer science principles in 12th grade when I was applying for colleges, and I was like, I really did not know how to code at that point, and even after that class I still didn't really know how to code. So I was like, probably not computer science. And business, that was what I was interested in, but I was like, this is a stable career, because coming from an Asian household, and my dad was an engineer, I was like, that's probably what I'm gonna do, and I'm good at the STEM subjects, and it seems really boring. I hated physics, and that probably told me that I was not going to be an engineer, because I hated physics so much. I liked bio and chem, but I hated physics. But I was like, engineer is stable. I'm Asian. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna be a doctor. I cannot go to school for 10 more years. Lawyer, I'm not too interested in law, although some of it can be interesting. Anyway, the point is, I was like, engineer all the way. Not all the way, I was just like, that's stable. But the critical turning point was when I was applying to college, specifically A&M, Texas A&M, and I had selected engineering, right? And I selected business as my second choice, because I was like, if I don't get into engineering, then I'll do business. But I put what did I put? I put engineering as my first choice, right? I was like, this is a breeze. And then I got to the essays, because some of them have essays, and it said, why do you want to be an engineer? And I was like, oh, I was so ready to submit the application, because I think A&M was rolling, so the easier you did, especially for business and engineering, they're pretty competitive, so the earlier you submit it, the better, because it's it fills up. So I was like, I really need to submit this, and I had everything else ready. I just needed to write that essay, and that was literally the only thing that was holding me back. If that were not an obstacle, I would have submitted it. But really, I was like, I read that essay and I was like, I have no clue what to write for this. I do not know why I want to be an engineer. I was like, I don't know what I want to do as an engineer. And I literally could not submit my A&M application for can't remember if it was 1 week, a few weeks, or a month, but it was a period of time that I just could not submit that application because I did not know how to write that essay. And it was at that moment that I was like, I can't write this essay. I don't want to be an engineer. I physically can't write it because it would be full of random stuff or non-genuine stuff, because I just don't want to. And so at that point I was like, okay, yeah, engineering just really isn't for me. And I was like, I could make it in business. and this is what I like. And that's why I changed it to business. I still did end up applying to engineering for some schools. Engineering versus economics, because some schools don't have business schools. So I did either economics or engineering, depending. I was still like, if I can get into an engineering school and then, I'll just go for engineering and then maybe I'll double major in economics. Who knows? That was how I was thinking. But, I was still in that stable career mindset. But that was when I realized, like, engineering was not for me. Even before, I found out I hated physics. Engineering is too boring for me, personally. I mean, I have lots of great friends that are engineers, and they're really smart, and that's great. And I'm definitely smart enough to be an engineer, I think. Hopefully, that doesn't sound too conceited. But it's just not for me. I did not like that. But that was really the turning point when I realized engineering just wasn't for me. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to study this for 4 years, and then I'm going to probably do it something related for the rest of my life, or have some kind of quarter life, midlife crisis, and I have to change it. So I was like, I want to do something I like for the 4 years of college, and that's why I chose business. Now, why did I choose computer science? Well, still, in the stable Asian mindset. And, I was also like, I'm so good at STEM, it would be such a waste. But computer science is also just really useful, especially nowadays. Like, it's not like computer science or computers are getting more obsolete, like technology is getting obsolete. No, it's like they're getting more and more important. So learning computer science, whether or not I use it to become a software engineer or anything, is going to be important. Like, I still find myself like, oh, I learned that in class, how cool. But that's why I was like, when I see computer science dual degree programs with business, I'll apply for them. So I never like straight out went for computer science. Like, if I was applying for a school, if it had a business school, I'd apply for business. If it didn't have a business school, it was kind of a coin toss between economics and engineering, and I talk about it in my essays. I'd be like, oh, engineering and economics, something like that. And then I would never apply for computer science. Like, I didn't apply to a single school for computer science. But for the schools that had like a computer science business dual degree program, I would apply for that one, because I was like, well, if I'm going to get a business degree, why not get a computer science degree while I'm at it? 2 for the price of 1. That's a great deal, and I'll learn so much. So I applied for the dual degree programs. I did not expect to get in because I was like, I don't know how to code. But I was like, if I don't try, I never know. Like, if I don't apply, then I'm definitely not going to get in. And if I did apply, I at least tried. And, it's not like if they reject me for business and computer science, they're going to reject me for business. I still had the opportunity. Like, I went in with the mindset that business was my goal. I wanted to get in for business. And if I got into business and computer science, even better. And if I didn't get in, expected. I was like, that they did nothing wrong. I did not expect to get in. But I did get in. I got into both the business honors program and the business and computer science honors program at UT. So now you know where I go to school. And at that point, I was like, why would I just do business when I can do both? And that's why I chose business and computer science. So to summarize this long story, because I enjoy talking about my life, I guess I like talking, I realized that I did not like engineering, and I went with business. And then I went with business and computer science because it was a great opportunity. So how this translates to how you can pick your major is I recommend you pick something that you're passionate about. So and I know at that age of, 17, 18, maybe even younger, if you skipped a few grades, maybe a little older, that's totally fine too. It's hard to know what your passion is or what you like. But definitely don't pick something that you don't like just because it seems like it's a stable career that will pay a lot. Like engineers, they get paid a lot. And I went for that because I knew that I wasn't going to go for all of the other stereotypical Asian things that pay a lot. Engineering was the most feasible, but then I was like, I don't like this. I knew I hated it. So definitely don't pick something you hate. Pick something that you don't hate and that maybe you like. So I knew I liked business. Maybe you don't know what you like, and some people do go in as undecided, but I would try to go pick something that is a bit competitive. That way, if you ever choose your major, like in college, if it's a liberal arts school, it doesn't matter, but for like big state schools, it's much easier to go from a competitive college to a not so competitive than to go from a less competitive to a higher one, because the requirements are a bit more stringent and you have to really work really hard for the first year or two, depending on when you switch, versus you have your entire high school career that you've done excellent in, right? So that is one point. But when you pick something you're passionate about, also learn a skill that you can fall back on. So, for example, like if, I don't know, geology, archaeology, liberal arts, art school is your passion, great. I would go for it. Like, I still want to be an actor, right? Whatever. Definitely go study that, but I would probably double major in something or maybe get a certificate or a minor in something like business, right? Like, if you want to be an actor, great. Go pursue those passions, or a musician, or I don't know, dance. I can't even think of all the majors right now, but something that's not stereotypically STEM that people revere. Those are great. Liberal arts degrees are great, but get some kind of technical or marketable skill like business or coding. A lot of people get a coding certificate right now. Just get some kind of skill that you can always fall back on so that while you're pursuing your dream, you're not starving. There are those lucky people that, study what they love and are able to immediately go into there and be successful. There are other people who study what they love and go into something completely different. So maybe find something that you love. Find a technical skill that you kind of like so that when you're going to find something different to support yourself, you can kind of do whatever it was that you kind of like. And then pursue your passion. So I don't want to say majors are useless because you can learn anything in any major. And like me, when I'm going through my college career, I always try to take classes outside of my major that are random for fun. Like, I always take a Spanish class, I always get an exercise class because they're fun. But while you're getting something that you like, get some kind of skill too. So that's how I would recommend you go about picking your major. But definitely don't pick a major you hate, because you're going to be suffering when you're taking those classes for no reason, and you might change it later, and changing a major in the middle of college is just horrible because you've wasted years taking classes that you didn't need to be taking for that major. It's not technically wasted because you're going to learn anything. You're going to learn things in any class, but it's wasted in terms of you could have taken other classes that maybe you would have enjoyed more. So definitely avoid things that you don't like. Do not select a major because everybody else is doing it or because my parents want me to, even though you hate it. If your friends are doing it and your parents want you to do it, but you like it, go for it, but pick something you like, find something technical, and that's just my recommendation. You could totally do whatever you want with your life, but that is my suggestion and my path. So anyway, that was very long-winded. I'm sorry. I kind of talked too much, but if any of this was entertaining or helpful, please let me know. Leave a comment, maybe about what you majored in, why you majored in that. If you agree with me, if you disagree, leave a comment. If you liked anything, like it. Try not to dislike it. Subscribe if you like to, but I hope you have a superb day. Thank you.